Namaste to the chosen ones. 144,000, huh? Whatever that means. Might be something esoteric, I don't know. But I should really be saying namaste to the occultist, because this is what this video is about. I've kind of tried to like research and be on YouTube or Google, and I haven't really seen a video like this anywhere on like the internet. But what is the occultist? What does the occult mean? What is the occult lifestyle? To live in a world of exoteric spirituality, and for things that you study or some of you practice, like it's been taboo, it's been demonized. So the occult is anything that is hidden. It could be synonymous for esoteric. It is that which is not really widespread, and this is why it is hidden. This is why you may go into a spiritual event with your occult views, maybe with your occult symbols, and people who are polarized on like love and light, or just very like neophyte beginners, will not quite understand your way of life, your energy, and a lot of your beliefs. So what's it like, you know? Like, I'll say for one though, is we are very advanced beings, very advanced souls. This is definitely studies that we've taken upon in past lives. We are ahead of our time. So you may cross paths with someone who's incarnated as a human 4 to 10 times, and they're still like under this like Christianity dogma of good versus evil, duality, morality. But yeah, they're very heavily subscribed to a lot of these really Christian concepts that have plagued religion, I feel. Not too many enlightened Christians I've ever seen, but it is very possible to access enlightenment through Christianity. So, in the beginning of my occult journey, I feel like every occultist must be initiated into this feeling of what it's like to first get your feet wet and be a neophyte yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I was following some people that were like doing like crazy rituals live on Instagram, and there's a part of me that was kind of like, damn, this nigga got me caught up, spellbound in his ritual. Fuck. Or I'd even talk to female occultists who, like, I think now she has like 175,000 followers on Instagram. She's done lectures with Brother Panic, Brother Yusef, Travis Mages, and she's at that level. And I remember there was a time, like in my earlier, just getting my feet wet into it, I think I originally started following like occult people and being kind of interested in it, like in 2000, I want to say 18. And then here comes 2019, right? Where I'm talking to this shorty, and yeah, there's a part of me, like, I was like, damn, oh shit, here go or, but I'm like, damn, like, she might do some fucking witchy shit to me, I don't know. But like, it fucked with my mind, but I still stayed with it, you know what I mean? I'd actually completed like a Vipassana retreat like prior to that, so it was a big reset on my mind and my body. And my father was a monk, and he was into meditation, and he would tell me stories how I was like meditating at 2 and 3 years old. So I already had that like dormant gene unlocked in me to not really be bothered by it. But by no means was I ever at all like a master meditator. What was it, 5 years ago? But if you are starting as a neophyte, like you're studying these books, you're following Bobby Hemmett, you might be into like some very black magic type books, you know what I mean? And you're gonna, like, this is just the way psychology works. Like, say you are a black magician, right? And you hex somebody or you did some crazy shit. The psychology behind that is now you're gonna have this fear that it can be done onto you, right? So this is why, like, in any preliminary occult book, it talks about meditation. And in most occult books, like, you'll see in the preliminary chapters, you must meditate. You must get your mind right. Because I've heard some stories of some occultists like invoking some demons within them, and they were plagued with very sadistic thoughts. Basically the characteristics of that demon, and it was something that they had to sit with and deal with. This is why, like, so some of the stuff I study are Taoist sorcery, the Goetia, what else? Agories. I've even at times, I never really tapped into it, but I remember, like, I think 3 years ago, like, I got the Necronomicon at Barnes and Nobles. Crazy, huh? Like, they actually had the Necronomicon at Barnes and Nobles, and I've heard stories of people saying like some wild shit happened in their house, like a lot of bad energy was, like, you know, happening in their life. At that time I got more like deeper into meditation, so I mean I never myself like experienced anything like something like bad happened to me like that. But again, I never really tapped into it, like the essence of it. Like, it actually is quite useful esoteric wisdom in it. It's kind of interesting. I've always been into like dark shit like that, or watching horror movies, or even when I was a teenager, like on Rotten.com, like. So it's always been interesting. Definitely, like, when you start off on this path, you're gonna befriend other occultists, right? And no different how like a love and light person views you, you might view that occultist that has more experience as someone that can take over your free will or whatever, you know what I mean? Which I myself don't believe we have free will. And if you did have free will, let me see you manifest that $1,000,000 you always wanted. Let me see you have the free will to manifest your dream wife or your dream husband. Let me see you manifest that off-grid house or mansion that you always wanted if you have free will. If you have free will, stop suffering. But I don't think we have free will. We play this narrative role in life according to what we agreed upon with soul contracts. So I myself don't really categorize myself as like left-hand path or right-hand path. It is very important for me to be centered, to be neutral, to walk on the middle path. And I feel when I walk in the middle path, I'm not really subscribed to, either or. Like, that's why there's very little conflict at all that I get into. You know what I mean? I've been around occultists that would tell me there was like siphoning energy right here at this event, and I just let them be. Right? I didn't be like Captain Save-A-Ho and try to stop them or whatever. And there's been love and light workers who like were condemning like Christian or being very judgmental, right? And I didn't stop them, right? Or there would be like love and light workers that didn't want to like work with the darkness or kind of like let the darkness mold them, as you can just see from my past videos how important that is. And I didn't really like get in the way of their beliefs. You know what I mean? I might have just like sprinkled a little like like little breadcrumb of like esoteric knowledge, and if they took it, cool. If they was, and most of them, they're just attached to their beliefs and they stayed believing in whatever they believed in. That was cool too. And I was able to like, vibrate on their level, go on vacation with people like this. And even with occultists, like been on vacation with them too, and you know what I mean, like observing their views of life. And I never play on any side of the pillar too much, because if you play on any side of the pillar too much, you're bound to fall. Just thinking of it like if there was a gate here and there was a gate on the left and right of me, right? If I'm leaning too much weight, too much knowledge on this left gate, you know what I mean? If I'm very identified in this fence right here, I can end up falling one day, right? With all the weight that I put on it. The same goes for the right side, right? But if I am right now walking the middle path, right? Not leaning too much on that belief and not leaning too much on this belief, I walk light. And I walk in the darkness. It's very neutral. And I remember too, like in the beginning of my lifestyle, like I didn't really embrace the darkness. I was kind of like low key about it. Like, oh fuck, I got the Baphomet on me. Oh shit, I got the pentagram on me. Oh shit, I have a book called The Necronomicon that's apparently very dark. And like, man, people are gonna judge me. But I realized like when I used to wear like talisman like that, like most of the masses didn't even know this symbology. It was just all in my mind. Being kind of timid and embracing it. But don't get me wrong, there are people who kind of like are intimidated by stuff like that. I low-key remember going to like a vegan Vietnamese restaurant with my pentagram. And I think the dude saw it, and he's like giving me my water, like shaking, and his energy just seemed like very. Let's go back. Okay, come on. His energy looked like very intimidated. You know what I mean? So, and this is what I mean. How like they are very young souls. They see stuff like that. They got programmed with Christianity, and they still see it in mystics, in yogis, who are tapped into this energy, tapped into this philosophy. So yeah, there's like very esoteric books, occult books I've read. They've been priced up $1,000. A lot of them been not printed no more. Very rare to get your hands on some of this like knowledge, but somehow, some way I did. Either if I couldn't have the physical copy, it was PDF, and it was very profound knowledge, very, very profound. I feel like, I see like the exoteric spirituality community out there. And the people that tell me like, yeah, I read The Alchemist, The Power of Now, The Four Agreements. All those like, I guess you could say love and light books. Very popular, very exoteric. Just like observing like these people, it just, I don't know, it just still seemed like they were in duality. Like there's definitely like valid information there that can help you, but it just seemed like the stuff they let people get like exoterically available for everyone, like it just seemed like those people like weren't like masters. But a lot of these esoteric books, like I've seen like occultists tap into. Like I remember my last ayahuasca ceremony, I met one brother out there who was tapped in. He knew about cyclomancy, he knew about Brother Panic, you know what I mean? And just to see the type of power that he displayed, and from observing everybody else, nobody else was tapped into that occult side of spirituality. But like that guy always looked like as a god. I don't know if it's because the CMOS that he brought, or like his frame of mind is very prestige, but the brother was tapped in. You know what I mean? And all the love and light workers were all learning from him. That was beautiful. I think he even had like some type of like sigil tattoos on him. So I've been very fortunate to run across like different occultists, either online or in real life, and I just wanted to just be grateful right now, at this moment, for having even the dharma to actually cross paths with like people who are psychics that can have conversations with my spirit guides. You know what I mean? People who went to like mystery schools, people that were like hypnotists, people who were teaching me how to freestyle magic. You know what I mean? Like, or people that taught me how to astral project in DMs, or like strippers that were into the darker side of shit, and they let me in their lifestyle and how they viewed life, and just observing like the very like esoteric, profound knowledge that was in their minds was just so beautiful. Whereas like when I'm around these spiritual communities, it's like a lot of redundant, replayed information that, I don't know, I just heard it like so many times. Like it's cool and all, you know what I mean? I do try to see the infinite in the mundane, but it's not really teaching me. It's just kind of just like reprogramming. The way I see it is like it's reprogramming me to learn this particular wisdom. Like, why else would I meet this person and they're talking about this certain philosophy or concept? It's just like simple reminders. What do we have? 21 minutes? Yeah. I just want to say, man, if you're occultist, keep going down the spiral path. I mean, you might run into like people that just do not understand you, just not fuck with your energy. It is because you are too ancient to be understood in the yuga that we're in, or Kali Yuga, the least righteous era or yuga out of the four, the one where Maya is very prevalent, distractions are all over the place. They're not going to understand you because you are an ancient soul. But just know, the weirder that you are, or the more misunderstood that you are in this matrix world, just know you're doing something right. And many blessings, to the chosen ones. For those who know what that really means, to embody it, to teach others wisdom that is hard to find nowadays and it's so perverted. But I appreciate y'all, man. Like, for real. Like, we definitely have a mission here. Definitely have a mission here. To kind of like demystify what people think real spirituality is. And I'll just leave on that note. All love, auspicious blessings, and as we continue on the path, the inner path of ourselves.